Welcome back to Views from the 50, an NFL podcast where we cover all things NFL. I'm your co-host, Jefe, and I'm joined here tonight by the one and only Wayne.
Yes,
It's just
sir.
me and you tonight, fella. How you feeling?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Excited to be here, ready to go. Let's do
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir. It's just me and you. It looks like nobody else could make it. We'll shout out everybody, but hopefully we can get them on next time. But let's get right into it, man. We got some things going on, some people holding out, some deals being made. Talking about Chris Jones and Nick Bosa, man. Chris Jones looking to hold out. The Chiefs, man, they could be in trouble with this. I mean, Kelsey's injured too. Mahomes, man, I'm feeling bad for the man. How you feel?
Feeling scared for the man, but once again, that's the best quarterback in the league, and the greats, they just figure out a way to get it done. It don't matter who they have around them, they still get it done. I have some faith in, they still have MVS, Valdez Scanton. He can get down the field from time to time. Sky Moore going in the second year, he's a quick receiver too as well. So they're decent, still at the receiver position, still have Pacheco in the backfield. So they still have some pieces, but them not having Kelsey in this first maybe 3 or 4 games, we'll see. And then not having Chris Jones, it's going to be huge because Chris Jones is their whole defense, honestly. They don't really have a defense. That's their
Yeah.
defense right
Chris
there.
Chris Jones is the leader of that defense. He is the
Yeah.
entire defense of Kansas City. So you're right. Without him, they're gonna be in trouble.
They're in trouble. Yeah.
It's
They
not
might
gonna be
let a
fun.
lot of points, and Mahomes just might have to throw for a lot of touchdowns, man, or something.
But
But
like you said, man, he gets it done. Those receivers, they just got to get into the position and catch the ball. They got to do their jobs. Mahomes will get it there, though. We know that. We've seen it. It's on film.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's there. 2 Super Bowls proven. So yeah, it's there. Yep, yep.
100%. But yeah, man, I know you had to see $31 million just laid out on the table for a guy, Nick Bosa. 49ers got their defensive piece back, though.
You know, I like it. I like it, bro. At the end of the day, because Nick is solid, but what's tough is Nick can't stay healthy, man.
I
So I
know
mean,
he just
I'd say at least
that's gonna be a problem.
that's the tough part. You know what I mean? Like it's a good deal for them and it's a good deal for him. He's a hell of a player and it's a big piece for them, but he's got to stay healthy now. He's got to, find maybe LeBron's trainers or something on that side and see what's up. Because
Yeah, he's gonna
that
have to
man,
tap in with somebody's new trainers because
yeah,
he's got to get it together. I mean, $31 million, that's a lot of money to just
come on.
give somebody, and that's a market reset too. Like we got to talk about that too. The market's been reset. I mean, there's other guys up and coming that's going to be paid soon. So
Yeah.
could we see a new market reset when a guy like Micah Parsons gets ready to get paid?
Man, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
They go
That's the tough
load the
part.
Brinks truck. I'm worried. I'm already nervous, man. But honestly, he deserves it. So it is what it is, Jerry. Load the Brinks truck up.
Yeah, load the Brinks truck up. Might as well point right behind you because he's getting it right next.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy,
But
man.
he did show Nick Bosa love. I don't know if you saw that. He showed him some
Yeah,
love. So
he did.
I love when people do that, man. It's good to see. It's good for the
Yeah,
league.
yeah.
Um,
It's deserved.
but
Yep. Hmm.
I think it's gonna be between them two. As far as
Yeah,
defensive player of the year, I could
yeah.
definitely see that being a nice race between them. But we
100%.
will definitely talk about that later on in the season. Let's get into a guy, Mike Evans, man. I've been seeing a lot of talk about him, a lot of chatter from his trainer. The deadline, supposedly for him is coming up. Uh, I think right now he'll probably remain on the Bucks this season, but this is a contract year for him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting to see what he does, how he performs. I believe what is Baker's their quarterback, right?
Yeah, Baker. Yep.
So we all know how he performs. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be the same guy now that Tom's gone.
Yeah. That's the tough part. That's the tough part. And I'm low key a fan of Baker and I want to see him succeed, but really feel like Mike is gonna find a way now that he's, felt that winning, a couple years. He's gonna find a way to try to push his way out. With the way the NFL is nowadays, everybody's like, okay, let me go and find my ring or let me go and find the winning team to try to just extend my career a little bit more. I feel like that's what he's gonna end up trying to do. And probably like the fourth or fifth game before the trade deadline, he's gonna be like, yeah, I'm trying to force my way out and find a way to a contender at least so he can ride out the last year and see if they extend him next year or if somebody can pay him a lot more money next year. But I can't see them staying that whole season against with the Bucks this year. Can't see it unless they pay him. You know.
Yeah, it's that's a very interesting situation that I'm very curious to see develop over the time. And like you said, he might look to be traded midseason to go to a contending team. That's going to be very interesting to watch throughout the season too.
Yeah.
But he's also 30 years old too, so a lot of teams are going to start looking at his age as going to be a factor too. So I'm curious to see how all this plays out in this contract year. And Baker too at quarterback. I mean, I
Just
don't
don't know.
like it's like you said, I really do like the guy, but it's like Baker, man. I don't know how he's gonna fare. But speaking of Baker, man, let me tell you about a team that he used to play for, the Cleveland Browns. They played week 1 against their division rivals, Bengals. I got that as the lock of the week. I'm gonna tell people Burrow 1-3 against them Browns.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson is still at quarterback. They still got Amari Cooper. They still got Chubb. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're gonna go, all the way in Cleveland, but I got them winning week 1.
Yeah. Man, it's a tough call. It's a tough call, honestly. I want to go with the Browns because the Browns, man, overall, like I just feel like their team, they've excelled. They put a lot of pieces around Deshaun this year. Deshaun's going into actually a full off season without the BS behind him. And it'll hone well for him. But I feel like Joe Burrow, we haven't seen much of him in the off season at all. I just feel
He got
like
hurt.
he got hurt with that calf, and it's a calf. At the end of the day, the first week he got hurt, so and it's still been lingering. So I don't know about that. That is very tricky. So I will lean towards that with you, but I just feel like with him being 1-3, 1-4 against the Browns now, he'll find a way to get this W. It's in Cincinnati too, as well, I believe.
This one's
This
in
week.
Cleveland.
So in
It's in
Cleveland,
Cleveland this
okay.
week. Yeah, it's in Cleveland this week.
Mm.
And
Yeah, you
that's more
make
so why I lean the Browns.
yeah. No. I hear
But
that. I hear.
but I
Yeah,
also say this,
yeah,
I've been thinking about this over the last week.
yeah.
The Browns could be a team that nobody's talking about that could sneak into the playoffs and
Yep.
upset somebody.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Yep. That's
Nobody's
exactly
talking
how it
about it yet, but the
is.
Cleveland Browns could be a very interesting football team to watch
Yep.
this season.
Man, if Deshaun is 3 years ago, Deshaun, that team is gonna be amazing. And that division itself is just loaded, so it's gonna
Yeah,
be
the
tough.
division
But
is very much loaded. You
yeah,
still got Lamar in that division, and you still got Mike Tomlin. I mean, that man has not gone under 500, so you still got the genius in Mike Tomlin in that division. We cannot forget
exactly.
him. So
Exactly.
that will
Genius of
be
the
a very
dog.
tough and interesting division to watch. But I'm trying to tell you, look out for the Browns week 1, man. Upset,
Got to.
that could be the
Got
upset
to.
right there.
Yep, don't forget
Um,
about him.
yeah. So but let's get into the last thing right here. People are chasing Super Bowl rings, and windows close at times. You got windows open, you got windows closed. The Bills, the 49ers, and the Cowboys. Let's look at all of these 3 teams. Could the window be closing for the Bills? They got the Jets. Aaron Rodgers just moved over to that division. You got Tua, who's young. You got Mac Jones, who's young, getting coached by the GOAT himself, Bill. I mean, and then you got the 49ers. I mean, they still might be good because they just locked up Bosa. And then the Cowboys, Jerry likes to stay consistent. So he always likes to be competitive as far as the windows. But, it's getting very interesting for these teams, honestly, especially with other teams in the AFC and NFC sparking up. How you feel about all these teams and especially in your division, you got the Bills. You got 2 young, hungry quarterbacks that are trying to make their own statements.
Yeah, absolutely. I still feel like the Bills, they have a few years with Josh. He's gonna keep tricking up and messing up until he finally gets in there, especially with him having Stephon around him in that defense. They're pretty solid. So I feel like they have a couple of years on them. Niners are kind of tricky. It's a that's a a gamble right there because you don't know how Purdy's going to do in his sophomore year right here, especially coming off that injury. That UCL is that throwing injury that baseball players get. So it's some serious, I would say. So that's something to watch out for. But their defense, they always come to play, regardless. So that'll be a good piece for them. And your boys, at the end of the day, you guys are solid. You guys are solid. It really just lies on Dak. Like I said last week, it's on his shoulders. He has to get the job done. He has to be consistent for you guys to get to where you guys need to go. That's as simple as that. He's still young too, as well. I believe he's 30. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so it's like
Yeah.
that's still
Dak is
young
still
for a
pretty
QB.
young. And they just got Trey Lance, who's even younger than that. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like he's always trying to stay competitive in that aspect. So it's hard to say the window really ever closes for them when they try and stay competitive. It's just they don't have they need to get the pieces to get to the ship. That's the problem that they have. As far as the Cowboys. The 49ers, though, man, Geno Smith is in that division now. And so we can't forget about Seattle, man. They doing their
yeah, yeah.
thing. And you're right, Brock Purdy, man. He's coming back from an injury that is very much unknown about how he's going to come back and perform. Yes, they still have very much excellent offensive and defensive pieces on that team, but your quarterback has to be able to perform in order for you to win games. They gave up on Trey Lance, so they think they really do have something in Brock Purdy, even with that injury. So, I mean, that's going to be very interesting to watch. And like you said for the Bills, go ahead.
That's why they paid Nick Bosa all this money because they don't have to worry about QBs for a little while since they got Mr. Irrelevant. They're paying him for the low right now. So, and he's performing. So we'll see if it lasts. That's on him. It's on him. Yep.
No, you're right about that. They're paying, because they definitely saving money going the Brock Purdy route, paying him for the extreme low right now. So that's good for them. But I mean, as far as the Bills go, I definitely see them. Josh Allen, he's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback. And they still have Diggs. They got pieces, but you have a killer in your division named Aaron Rodgers now, and as a Cowboys fan, I know what it feels like to lose to Aaron Rodgers, especially when you want your team to win so bad. It's like he just finds a way in the last seconds of a game to get in field goal range, to get in a Hail Mary situation. I've seen it and I've watched it one too many times. So to have a guy like that in the division, I'm not going to say Josh's window's closing because Aaron Rodgers is, already up there in age, but it's going to be hard for him for the next few years while he's in that division. And now you have talent developing in Mac Jones and you have talent developing in Tua. So for the Bills, I think out of these three teams, they're the hardest. They're the ones to look at the most as far as a window closing, even with the pieces they have.
Yeah. Even the pieces there. I agree. Out of all them, yeah. It's tough. It is tough because the division itself, it does continue to get a little bit stronger overall with the teams. So I agree with that. Yeah. Niners have an easier chance. Cowboys, you guys really just have to worry about the Eagles and the upcoming Commanders. But
I will say we can't sleep on the Giants.
I'm trying not to.
As much as I don't like the Giants because they just irritate me. Watching Eli Manning, all those formative years of him of that just depressing face, and then him winning those Super Bowls and all that, it just made me not dislike the Giants organization even more. But I don't hate them as much as the Eagles. That's for sure. We know that if you saw me last season, but nonetheless, I don't want to sleep on the Giants. And why I say that, because Daniel Jones looked like an amazing quarterback last year with 0 wide receivers. Now he has a tight end that is an excellent wide receiver, and he still has Barkley. So I cannot just sleep on the Giants at all. As far as the Commanders, they will always well, I can't say always, but right now, they have a solid defense. They have pieces on offense. It's just up to Sam. It's up to Sam Howell, man. It's up to him.
That's it. Yeah.
If he can produce, that team could be pretty competitive. But the East is back. Yeah. I mean, that division is tough. All those division, I mean, well, the 49ers division isn't as tough as the Bills and Cowboys division. Because really the 49ers, I feel like, only have to worry about Seattle. I don't think the Rams are going to be competitive that much. And unfortunately for the Cardinals, they might be the worst team in the league this year. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Yeah, not even just on paper. It's gonna show. It's bad. It's all bad for them. So I agree. Totally agree. Yeah, I can't the whole Aaron Rodgers thing is gonna be tough. Because I feel like these next 2 to 3 years that he's gonna be playing, for sure he's gonna be gunning for that Super Bowl, and that team in the way it's constructed right now, they can get it done. They can get it done.
And they have young, hungry pieces.
They do all around, man.
And they got a killer around them too. So I'm nervous.
Yeah, it's scary. It's gonna be a good season, man. And they're underdogs on Monday too. That 2.5, I can't believe that. So
that actually surprised me for them to be underdogs at home. I'm personally gonna jump on that.
Yeah, same.
So I can't tell anybody else what to do with their own money, but me personally, I'm gonna jump on that, and I might even parlay that with the Browns.
Yep.
There's a spoiler for you, a nice little 2-team money line parlay at that. They are both money line options plus money. So, hey, look, you know, I'm just trying to help build the wealth, as they say.
That's it, man. Yeah. 100% agree. Yep.
But other than that, man, you guys can catch us back next week. We'll be right back. The SFN crew, hopefully with some more members. If not, we'll be here. But also, I do want to make a special announcement. Every Sunday from now on during the NFL season, we will be live streaming on Twitch during the NFL games, giving live reactions. And even before that, we will be doing a fantasy football / game preview for 1 hour before the games, starting at noon. What is that? And nine. That's 9, I believe. In the other time zone. Yep, 9. There we go. 9 a.m. over there on the other side. Yep. So you can catch us over there on Twitch. And even before that, about an hour before that, probably 8 a.m. And 10 a.m. over here, or I'm sorry, 11 a.m. over here, we'll be live streaming our weekly episodes. So you can catch all that over on Twitch at the Social Frequency Network. But other than that, we'll be back next week. We out.
Let's do it.